Stoke-on-Trent overnight, just about to go and find out what it's like when he takes his dog out. Hopefully you're watching this before you've taken the dog out. Pete, morning to you. And Charlotte, horrible weather in the Isle of Man, very cold, extremely windy, hasn't stopped for the last 24 hours. We've got more details on your holiday weather, your half-term weather to come. Also here on the show, you don't want to miss this. Gavin will have knives on fire thrown at him.
Because he's auditioning for a very bizarre job at the Circus of Horrors.
Where else will you find this stunning TV bed with 50% off and free delivery in time for Christmas? Furniture Village, of course.
Good morning, world, it's a brand new day. I'm packing my bags and I don't know way. Down on Malibu where the living is so wild and free. If you wanna get happy, then people come along with me. A beep bow bow, ba 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 bow bow. Good morning, freedom. Yeah. A beep bow bow, ba 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 bow bow.
New Freedom Fast Track helps visibly reduce spot redness in just 3 hours. New Freedom Fast Track.
I know now just quite how my life and love might still go on. If I could, then I would. I'll go wherever you will go, way up high or down low. I'll go wherever you will go.
B is for the 100% British and Irish beef in our burgers. That's what makes McDonald's.
Hi there, morning. Fast approaching 6:45 this Tuesday morning. Here are the headlines on Daybreak. The Prime Minister has survived attempts to push through a referendum on UK membership of the EU, but he suffered the worst rebellion over Europe in Conservative history.
Consuming more than 5 cans of fizzy drinks a week makes teenagers more aggressive, apparently, and more likely to be violent, according to a new study.
I'll have more on those stories in the news in 15 minutes' time. Now, rescue workers are continuing to look for hundreds of people buried under rubble after Turkey's strongest earthquake in a decade.
Well, the death toll has risen to nearly 300 after the 7.2 magnitude earthquake hit near the city of Van on Sunday afternoon. Well, from there, ITV News' John Ray joins us live. John, what are the challenges that are obviously facing rescue workers on the ground there?
Well, there are around 2,500 rescue workers here now, and another 700 medical staff. They've had a second night of digging. It's been bitterly cold. In places there is insufficient electricity. The place we were in yesterday, not much water either, but frankly none of those are big difficulties. The real problem is what you see behind me, what confronts them. Wherever they go, a mountain of masonry, crushed concrete under which there may or may not be people still buried. We've been watching them at work at this site this morning. There are big diggers in places, but most of the work they're doing is very painstaking. They shift a little bit of rubble, they will call a halt, they'll call for silence, they will listen out for any sign or sound of life from beneath them. Sadly, all too often where we've been watching, it has been bodies rather than the living that they've been pulling out. Just a couple of minutes ago, they recovered another body from this wreckage, this ruins behind me. So the death toll is continuing to mount and will continue to rise throughout the day, I'm sure.
There have been, happily, some stories of survivors coming out of the rubble. How are the locals coping with the distress? Obviously, it's bringing for those that have died, but also those that are struggling with injuries as well after being saved.
There have been some miracle survivals. A guy who came out after 32 hours trapped under the rubble. He was hiding under a table in a tea bar where he'd been relaxing with friends where the earthquake struck. But wherever you go to these sites of rubble, you will find the relatives of the missing gathered round. Last night, as temperatures dropped, they were sheltering trying to get warmth from campfires. There are some tents here. There are estimates saying that there could be as many as 40,000 people who are either unable or unwilling to go back to their homes. If their homes are still standing, many people are too scared to return to them because there have been a series of sometimes very powerful aftershocks, and there's a real fear amongst people that one more powerful aftershock could bring more buildings down and heap yet more misery on a landscape, on lives that are already in ruins.
John, thanks much indeed. That's John Ray reporting for us in Turkey on the devastating earthquake they suffered there.
Some very brave rescuers out there.
What time is it? There we go. It's just gone 6:45 Tuesday morning. We want to know what you would change about your man. You're engaged, aren't you?
I am, relatively newly
Anything
engaged.
you'd like to change about your man before you marry him?
No, of course not. Of course not. At this stage, no.
I'll get something
Earlier
out of her
on,
later
obviously, to get to this stage, maybe.
Why are we asking this? Well, according to a new survey, here are the top 10 things women would change about their men. Number 10.
Bottom of the list.
Cleanse and moisturise. Simple. Number 9, get rid of his beard, moustache.
Oh, no, keep that, keep that.
Improving hygiene. Why is it on me as if like these are things that I need to improve?
Because you're the man, you're clean
Just
shaven.
a general one, improving hygiene.
Plucking
eyebrows.
More aftershave. Better shoe choice. Nose and ear hair issues.
Right.
Better hairstyle, shaving habits, and, of course, most importantly, the dress sense.
Why is that most important?
Because it's instant impression, isn't it? It's all about dress sense. It's all, yeah.
You women are picky.
Of course.
What would you change about your man at home, ladies, if anything? If you're over 18, text us on 67890. That costs you 25p, plus your standard network charge, of course.
Yeah, or you can email us at daybreak@itv.com or go to our Facebook page, and you can also keep in touch with us via Twitter. The address for that is @Daybreak. Get your comments to us, though, before 8 o'clock this morning.
So some are quite general then, as in like basic hygiene, for instance. Others, eyebrows.
You're going to ask me to be
plucked
quite picky now, aren't you, about what I'd
Well, I think it's a very open subject matter, isn't it, obviously?
Yeah. What about would you change about your lady?
That's happily not the question we're asking.
I know, but you've got to reverse it. You've got to have a go too. You've got to be critical.
When there's a survey done on that, we'll cover it here on Daybreak. In the meantime,
it's all about the men
it's what
today.
the women would change about their
and what
men.
we change about them. Anyway, no matter how desperate you were for work, here's a job you'd probably think twice about applying for.
Yeah, the creator of the Circus of Horrors show has advertised for a knife thrower's assistant to take part in their upcoming tour. We had just one man to send to cover this story and maybe get a new job for himself. Gavin, morning. Nervous?
Very much so, Dan. You know why? Because I think I've met my match today. How you doing, all right? I'm here at the Circus of Horrors at the Pleasure Beach, Blackpool, to witness some of this. It's professional knife throwing, and whatever you do, not try this at home. These guys are the pros. And today they're looking for a new assistant. Dr. Hayes, my old friend, is the man behind this. How are you?
Gavin, nice to see you again.
You as well, yeah. Why are you looking for a new assistant at the moment?
Because our previous assistant has left us, I'm afraid to say, so we needed some new blood.
Fortunately, nothing serious behind
No, pregnant. She became pregnant and it wasn't right for her to stand at a knife board whilst pregnant, we thought.
That's fair enough. So what are you looking for in these successful candidates?
Well, they need to have nerves of steel, Gavin. Absolute nerves of steel. Got to be really confident, stand there absolutely dead still. You mustn't move.
Right, okay.
These knives are thrown at you at a speed of 30 miles an hour and they're normally on fire.
Really?
So it's even more scary than you've just seen.
OK. How popular has this job been then so far?
We put the ad in last Thursday in the local Job Centre Plus, and I would say within an hour we had 5 applicants. By yesterday morning we had 135 applicants.
Wow.
Although we do expect some of those will bottle it. Some might turn up in the next day, but we think some will bottle it. And one actually said that they were actually 5 foot 8 inches tall and 3 foot wide. And as the board is actually only 3 foot wide, there probably wouldn't be a lot of room for the knives to go around. So we advise them not to come.
Doesn't it look the biggest board, does it?
No, it's the perfect size though, and it looks fantastic. Kirsten Tina looks great stood on there as well.
I think I'm a bit taller than her there, so I might have a few problems.
I'm sure you'll be fine, Gavin. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Well, as I just mentioned, the pleasure in many people's sort of mornings is going to get much better because it's going to be me having a go on that knife board in a bit. So I'm going to get some training from Dr. Hayes in a few moments' time. So at 7:55, it's going to be me on that board having knives thrown at me. Oh, wish me luck.
Good luck.
What tips have you got for me?
Stand dead.
Get her outfit on you as well, Gav. Apparently it helps. Her outfit is designed specially
outfit.
for this
What's wrong
job.
with my
so-
outfit?
Yeah, well, yeah, he's wearing some nice threads there. You don't want to ruin his clothes. You know, if you just...
He would look good in the outfit, but I think we've
Nick
given him
his
a big
jumper.
enough task.
We'll
this
check in with
morning.
Gav a little bit later on. Could be fun. And maybe a little bit disturbing. This is your chance to win £20,000 now and a week's holiday to Brazil. Anna Williamson has details.
It's time to get the party started, and this is certainly the place to do it. The Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro.
This is your chance to win the ultimate family package.
We've got a prize to get the whole brood dancing. There's £20,000 in cash. Go ladies!
Plus a copy on Blu-ray, triple play and DVD of this week's release of Rio.
And to keep your loved ones happy, there's a holiday for 4 of you to Rio, where you'll be staying here at the Copacabana Palace Hotel, overlooking that world-famous beach. So, for your chance to win the £20,000 of the holiday to Rio and the movie, here's the question.
Sombrero and Panama are both types of what? A. Hat. B. Coat. C. Shoe. Call 090 49 59 6000. Calls cost no more than £1 and 3p from BT landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher and from mobiles considerably more. Text your answer A, B or C to 64499. Text costs £1 plus one standard network rate message. Or enter for free at itv.com. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at midday on Friday the 28th of October, and entries made after this time won't be counted but may still be charged. And good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Steve's here now with some showbiz news. Kelly's walked off the X Factor,
Yeah,
gone AWOL.
just having a read of the paper here. This is the Sun today, front page. Kelly, I'm off. Furious star jets back to the US. Sounds like she's kind of left the show, but she hasn't. She's gone back to the States, apparently. I don't know what for. Could be for business. But does give the Sun inside. They go, Destiny's childish. Because Kelly's flounced off to the US in the strop. They say it's over her fight with Talisa more than Louis over the events that happened over the weekend. But thing is with these, you never know. You never know really whether she just had a trip planned to go back anyway for anything. So we don't know the truth, but apparently she's just disappeared. I hope the girls that she's meant to be looking after, at least on the phone. Skype. They could Skype their performances to each other and do it that way. I went to the Q Awards yesterday. Now, these are good because they kind of take place a little bit earlier in the daytime, but it does mean that you see lots of rock stars boozing it up in the daytime, and that tends to be what happens. Come about 4 or 5 p.m, the pubs around the Q Awards, you don't really want to be there, or maybe you do if you're a photographer for one of the papers. But I went down there to speak to them and to see who won. Have a little look at this, see if any of your favourites picked up an award. The Q Awards are well known for being a boozy affair. It's also the awards ceremony that can get you a very good score at Scrabble.
Favourite word beginning with Q?
I went into the crowd.
Quest. Good choice.
Anyway, loads of people did rock up the red carpet, although sadly not the big winner Adele, who won Best Female and Best Song, but she was too poorly to be there because she has a sore throat. Ah. Not to worry though, some Irish fellas did turn up to pick up a prize for Greatest Act of the last 25 years. And Queen were given a big pat on the back by being entered into the Q Hall of Fame for having really big hair.
It's like there's all these really young bands that come and they have a really rock and roll time. Do you kind of feel like the guy watching over them now?
I'm just happy to be a part of it, really.
Elsewhere, Tiny Temper picked up Best Male, Jessie J won Best Video, Ed Sheeran won Best Breakthrough, and Noel Gallagher won the Q Icon Award, although he was still much happier about Man City thrashing Man United over the weekend.
Hey, listen, good weekend for you, wasn't it? You were saying? #1 album, plus City stuff United.
Yeah.
What was more satisfying?
City stuff in United, I've got to say.
Oh, Gary Barlow took time out from the X Factor to pick up the Q Classic Songwriter Award. And last but not least, there was Coldplay, winners of the Best Act in the World today, but also winners of the award for noticing which reporter on the red carpet had been up the longest.
Have you been up since like 3 a.m?
I have. Does it show?
Well, I don't want to be rude, but a little.
See? There's some sympathy, finally, from one of these rock stars out there.
He's a loving, caring man, isn't he?
Absolutely. There's some great pictures today in the paper of their shoes. They just because their new image is just like paint-splattered shoes, and as Gordon Smart in The Sun says, he looks like a decorator. But he did say he had better shoes than Bono. It was a bit of fun. They all know each other, don't they, all these rock stars? So it was good to see them all in one place. One person who wasn't there, sadly, you never know, maybe in a few years' time, Justin Bieber. But good news for you Bieber fans out there, he's going to be switching on the Westfield Christmas lights on the 7th of November. Now, that's both Westfields in London. He's going to, I think, helicopter between both of them. There's one in the east and one in the west. He's going to do both of them and sing some of his songs because he has a Christmas album out, Under the Mistletoe. So Christmas officially begins on November the 7th. And also, we have Will Young special for you today. Will Young's kind of gone to the dogs in the nicest possible way. This is the video for his new single, Come On, where Will appears to be at Crufts.
Fantastic. Have we had that dog on the show?
Possibly.
We've had
That's no way to speak of Will Young.
We've had a couple of dancing dogs.
Yeah, we did indeed. I think that is the one, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, well, yeah, she's put her hand up. Yeah, that's me.
You recognise the Will.
That's a paw.
I love that song, by the way.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's a great video. So watch it all the way through. You can see it online, actually. And finally for you, Keira Knightley. Here she was last night for the London Film Festival at the premiere of her new movie. It's called A Dangerous Method. It's all about psychoanalysis. It's a David Cronenberg film, so it should be fantastic. But Keira, looking lovely down there, and there's a bit of the film if you fancy a bit of that. It's very serious, also a bit rude in places. I was trying to stick for the right word, but it is quite saucy.
But she said it's the most fun she's ever had working on a film.
Well, there you go. There you go. Got the wrong job. Should be an actor.
According to the papers, of course.
According to the papers.
Before we go, I need to ask you this. We have Rhys Ifans or Ifans on the show later. Which is the... How do we say his last name according to our showbiz?
I said Rhys Ifans.
Ifans.
We'll have to ask the man himself, I think.
Well, Steve says Ifans. If it isn't...
Right.
Probably the other one.
Yeah.
Well, these text messages keep on coming in about weather all over the UK this morning. Right, hi Daybreak. I'm on a ship 200 miles northeast of Aberdeen. The weather right now is 10-metre seas, 30-knot winds, but we're sitting comfortably. Regards, Dave.
How are they getting to watch us on a ship 200 miles off the coast of Aberdeen?
A bit like that.
They're actually holding it very good. Gillian Newkey says, nice day for surfing today. Blooming wet yesterday. Ronnie Robert Lowe, thanks for the laugh this morning. One day of rain, it hits the headline news. Lol. Try living in the west of Scotland. Oh, bless. Keep your little mini weather reports coming in to us. In the meantime, here's a proper, lovely weather report from Lucy.
I wondered where you were going.
I don't know. As always, talking myself into a cul-de-sac.
I thought you were going to say I'm big and heavy and horrible.
No!
Well, the weather isn't very good. It is big, bad and horrible. Blustery winds, outbreaks of rain, but things getting slowly better.
Daybreak weather, sponsored by Nestlé Cereals. Proudly waving the banner for whole grain.
Yes, well, some places in the southwest saw around about half a month's rain in around a day yesterday. That's a copious amount of rain in a very short space of time, and that rain worked its way northwards and eastwards overnight to affect many areas. It's now sitting its way across eastern coastal counties, extending from the near continent through the northeast of England into central and southern Scotland. Here, a drenching first thing with strong gusty winds topping around 40 miles an hour, so thoroughly unpleasant initially. And then for the rest of us, a little drier with breaks in the cloud, a little calmer with this clump of showery wet weather just tickling coasts of the west initially. Through the course of the morning, staying very wet and windy through the north and the east, through much of Scotland, eastern coastal counties of England. Here, a drenching through much of the morning rush hour, lots of surface water and spray on the roads, the strongest winds for the coast and the hilltops up here. To the west of Scotland, Northern Ireland, showery outbreaks of rain will be on and off. And then for the rest of us, well, a little drier, a little better, but sunshine will tend to be limited by the cloud. There'll be a few showers rolling in as well. Through the course of the afternoon, staying very wet and windy through northern and eastern Scotland, particularly through the borders and the Grampians. To the west, drying up, it will be a little better here, a little calmer, but cloud will limit the sunshine. Then through England and Wales, a mixture of cloud and brighter breaks, but watch out for these showers working their way into the south and the west. Some could be on the sharp or thundery side, but at least it's going to be a little drier and a little calmer than yesterday. With that southerly airstream staying mild for the time of year, 13 or 14 degrees in the north, around 15 or 16 degrees in the south, and there'll be heavy, thundery showers to end the day in the south and the east, elsewhere drier and clearer. For a 5-day outlook for your postcode, visit our website, itv.com/daybreak.
7 o'clock.
Hi there, welcome along to Daybreak on Tuesday the 25th of October.
Today's big story, a blow for David Cameron. He suffered his party's worst rebellion over Europe last night as 79 of his MPs voted against the government.
Although the proposal for a referendum on EU membership was defeated, critics say his authority has been seriously damaged.
Steve's got the entertainment news for us.
Yes, it's get well soon to Robin Gibb. He had to cancel a public appearance yesterday. He's on the front page of some of the papers today as fears grow over his rather gaunt-looking appearance there. We'll have the details on the problems that Robin's going through in just a second. Lucy has your weather for you.
Well, a disappointing start to half-term week. It's been windy and wet, but things getting better today. Drier, calmer, and a little brighter. The full forecast in the next half hour.
Yes, all that's to come. And in the next hour, addicted to fizzy drinks. Why teens who consume just 5 cans a week are more prone to bad behaviour.
Actress Tina Malone is with us this morning. She'll be chatting about the season finale of Shameless, the secrets behind her dramatic weight loss and how life is imitating art.
And our Collectorholics series continues today. We're at the home of, guess, 2 Cliff Richard fans.
Morning!
Good morning, ladies.
Cliff Richard chat show.
Yeah, look at all that memorabilia.
Meeting them to find out more later. 7:15, what's happening where you are?
First, it's time for a news update from Cordelia.
Thanks, Lucy. Good morning. The Prime Minister has survived attempts to push through a referendum on UK membership of the EU, but he suffered the worst rebellion over Europe in Conservative history. 79 Tory MPs defied him by voting in favour of a referendum. Our political editor, Sue Jameson, is at Downing Street this morning. Sue.
Yes, good morning. Downing Street itself very much in the pink this morning, supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The Prime Minister himself rather more black and blue after a definite political bruising by many of those who rebelled against him. The numbers were pretty high. Downing Street was hoping for fewer than that, but also showed that David Cameron's personal intervention didn't actually do much to persuade many to vote the other way.
The ayes to the right, 111. The noes to the left, 483.
It was a very hollow victory. On paper, the numbers were fine, a majority of 372 against a referendum on Europe, but it came at a price, with 79 Tory MPs defying the whip and 2 MPs resigning their ministerial aid jobs to do so. It showed a deep split in the party the Prime Minister never wanted to expose so publicly.
I'm loyal. I think Cameron's doing an amazing job, but if I've been wandering around my constituency for 7 years saying that we should have a referendum on the EU, it's very difficult for me then, when I have the chance to vote on it, not to vote in favour.
I mean, I was elected on a clear manifesto that said we are in Europe, we want to stay in Europe, but we want to make sure that we're not run by Europe. And in the manifesto that I stood on, like all Conservative MPs, it did not say that we should have a referendum.
All of which gave the opposition ammunition, with Ed Miliband asking how the Prime Minister could win the argument over Europe if he couldn't persuade his own MPs. But the Prime Minister, who insists he does want to renegotiate in Europe, will be having to get over any disappointment very quickly. Tomorrow, he'll attend a critical summit on the euro in Brussels. And I don't suppose he's looking forward to that any more than he did the vote in the Commons. He's had very frank discussions with President Sarkozy over Britain's role, and I don't think we're going to see any lessening of that tension.
Thanks very much, Sue. Thousands of people have spent the night in sub-zero temperatures in eastern Turkey as rescue teams continue their search for survivors of Sunday's earthquake. The death toll stands at almost 300 now, with 1,300 people injured. Ousted Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi will be buried today in an undisclosed grave in the desert. The National Transitional Council say they want to defuse the row over his corpse, which has been on show in a cold store. There were unconfirmed sightings last night of Gaddafi's son, Saif al-Islam, close to the country's borders with Niger and Algeria. Now, parts of north-east England are on flood alert this morning after high winds and torrential rain battered large parts of the country overnight. A police officer in Ireland is missing after reportedly being swept away. Our correspondent Greg Eastle is in Scarborough in North Yorkshire.
It's been a nervous night for many here in Scarborough, but it seems as if they've gotten away with it. You can see behind me the waves here, which crept further and further up the shoreline over the last few hours. The prospect, the fear that they would burst through and hit many of the businesses behind and threaten them with a foot or two of water. In the end, no, that didn't happen. Around the country, though, various other problems. In Pembrokeshire, farmers' fields underwater. Down in Torquay, the water did make landfall. And over in Ireland, in Belfast, big problems there, sandbags out and water along the streets. But worst of all, it seems, in Dublin, massive problems there, and reports of a police officer missing, the fear that he may have been swept away where a river burst its banks just outside of Dublin.
Hundreds of people braved the rain in the Australian capital, Canberra, to meet the Queen and Prince Philip on the latest leg of their tour of the country. They laid a wreath at the National War Memorial to pay tribute to Australian soldiers killed in Afghanistan. ITV's royal correspondent Tim Hewitt sent this report.
This is Australia's National War Memorial, the Queen's last stop before moving on from Canberra. She came here today to pay her respects to the more than 100,000 Australian military personnel who have lost their lives in battle since the First World War. 8 more names are going to be added to the Scroll of Honour here on Remembrance Day next month. 8 soldiers who've lost their lives in the last year in Afghanistan, where 29 Australian soldiers in all have been killed, and 2 of those serving there have been awarded the Victoria Cross. Well, the Queen is now on her way, first to Melbourne and then to Perth, where she will take part in the Commonwealth Heads of Government Conference. On the agenda there, of course, rules of succession to the British throne.
That's the news. It's 7:07. Back to Lucy and Dan now.
Thanks, Cordelius. Cordelius?
Oh dear, struggling with this changeover
I
today.
really can't talk sometimes, which is a major problem as a broadcaster. Thanks, Cordelia. With us this morning, alongside Dr. Hilary, our special guest, Tina Malone, actress. Looking forward to the last episode of Shameless tonight. Chatting to you more about that later on. Are you a morning person? Is this tough for you?
No, I'm great. I can.
You're a delight in the
I've
morning.
never been
aren't
late
you?
for anything in my life. Seriously, for work-wise, yeah. So
Did you have to set 3 alarms this morning, or was it?
No, the only thing I have in common with Thatcher is I can sleep on 4 or 5 hours a night. So that does me.
Right,
We're all very
speaking of
Steve's
Tories
here as well,
then.
by the way, sorry, before we crack on with those.
Yeah, speaking of the Tories. Right, bloody nose for Cameron after last night's, of course, the EU referendum vote. And again, he's on the front page of The Independent. Slightly different, though. He was wrong about the riots. Of course, originally put it down to a gang culture, when actually it's being put down to, after research by the government, is that most of those rioters were from the most deprived homes and areas of the country.
This is the front page of The Sun this morning. Kelly, I'm off. Steve, I know Tina wants to mention this as well, but is there any substance to this? I mean, they're saying that she's left the country and she's gone AWOL.
Just to reiterate, we know she left the country. I don't think AWOL was necessarily the reason. I think we could probably speculate that she's got some sort of issues and stuff to deal with and business to deal with in the States where she's from. It's tough for her sort of having to be over here and over there all the time, and sometimes the mentors aren't as hands-on as maybe people believe, so I'm not sure she's left them in the lurch. There are other people around that kind of help out, so she's popped off, day off, come back.
I agree totally. I think it's all staged, isn't it? It's all a big act. It's panto. Simon's probably been on the phone to Gary and kind of said, ruffle their feathers a bit more. I think it's all an act. It's compulsive viewing.
But it looks as if it's genuine, though. They're not that good at actors, are they? Because some of the stuff we've been seeing has been...
I think we have, you know, the clown, we have the baddie, we have the beautiful girl, we have the intelligent, wise, happening girl, and I you know, to be honest, it's compulsive viewing. There's some amazing acts this year. Scouser Marcus is amazing. Got to get that in. But I do, you know, I think Talisa and Kelly have done a good job, and I think Gary's amazing, and I do think there is a lot of honesty, but I think it's very much staged. Like you've just said, she's probably had to go to the States for a couple of days for business, and that's what it's been, you know.
Tabloids love it, don't they?
Yeah,
they pick
of
up
course.
on most things and make it into something that it probably isn't. It remains to be seen whether there's any truth behind it at all or not, though.
But we'll all still watch.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the front page of the Daily Mirror, this is potentially sad news, isn't it?
Well, you know, I mean, obviously get well soon, Robin. The Mirror have put it on the front page, which some may argue isn't necessarily the place to put that. But there's Robin Gibb of the Bee Gees. I think the main point here is that Robin has been poorly. Couldn't go to a meeting at Downing Street yesterday to launch the Poppy Appeal with a new single he's helping launch out, and has a stomach problem, which of course is what killed his brother Morris, sadly. So that's the talking point, is about his condition and whether it is the same condition as his brother has. Hilary, you probably have more details on
Yeah, I mean, speculation is that something like inflammatory bowel disease is behind this, and certainly it's quite common. 1 in 250 people in the UK suffer from inflammatory bowel disease or colitis, Crohn's disease, those kind of conditions. Causes, you know, constant tiredness, loss of weight, and hospitalisation from time to time, because it's a chronic thing. So the weight loss is to be expected, and it is something you have to live with. We do have powerful drugs that can control it to some extent, but you can't cure it, unfortunately, but wish him well.
Maybe he'll be speaking about it in weeks, months to come. Someone who is speaking about illness within the family is Camilla.
It's
really
Camilla,
interesting read, isn't it, in the Mail
a big
today?
splash in the Mail. Camilla writes about her mother's own death, agonising death, she says, from osteoporosis. Well, this is a condition that affects 3 million people in the UK. And people say, why would it be agonising? Yeah, we understand it causes fractures, but why agonising? Well, because, as Camilla says, in her mother's case, she died at 72 in 1994. She had this dowager's hump that you associate with osteoporosis, so people become stooped. And that's because the spinal vertebrae fracture and you lose a lot of height. She lost 8 inches, her mother. So you become bowed, you can't breathe properly, it affects your rib cage, your breathing's affected, it affected the swallowing. So yes, it affects the ability to just do something as simple as eat and get out in the garden and enjoy life. And it is underdiagnosed, it's undertreated, and we need to do more, as Camilla says, to have people diagnosed earlier so we can treat them. We do have successful drugs for this. So Camilla's right, she's been president of the NOS for you know, at least 10 years, and she's doing a great job.
And someone in her position talking like this is obviously raising awareness of
Important,
that.
yeah.
Do you like a drink of wine at all, Tina?
I'm 13 years sober.
Oh, okay, right.
So no. I did like it. I do know my wines, though. I like to serve wine in dinner parties.
Okay.
You know, red wines and stuff. I know my Chateau Neufs and stuff, but and I know my champagnes. But no, I enjoy to watch
What's
other
your favourite
people.
champagne?
Probably, I like, obviously, like everybody likes Cristal, but probably Bollinger.
Hey.
I probably like,
girl.
but
Very highbrow
yeah.
conversation on that side of the studio.
Daybreak.
I was trying to link into this video that we picked up off.
It's a long time ago, though.
Off the internet. Look, on the left-hand side,
This is a
a
crying
whole wall full of wine racks just crash to the ground. The managers at this store in Wisconsin don't know why it happened, although the shelves were 31 years old, they say. 6,810 bottles of wine and champagne gone in a couple of seconds. Luckily, one of the guys working in the store got out of harm's
He gets out of
way.
their shop. But they perhaps need to change those
red wine.
change those fittings in that shop. Right, now, Tina, what would you change about your man? There's a survey out today about all these different things that we change.
Well, I've just said, I mean, I moved him in after meeting him after 13 days, so, and we've been together ever since, nearly 3 years. But he has got, I don't know whether I'm allowed to say this, he has got Louboutins on today.
Right.
And he would have put his top man
Stilettos?
No, trainees. But
Didn't know they existed.
Yeah, Louboutins for men. But I do tend to kind of, he was 10 years in the army, so he was very disciplined, but I do like to kind of say what I like him to wear.
But it's interesting. Number 5 in the top 20 things women would change about their men, shoe choice.
Right.
And number 1 is dress sense.
Yeah.
So
It's
there you are.
important, isn't it?
Not his personality. That's what you thought. You know, when I met Paul, he's the way he is at that age. You know, men take a lot longer than women to grow up anyway. So I think you can generally mould them, you know, quicker than you can women. But
not change, just slightly refashion.
I mean, that's what you've fallen in love with, isn't it?
Well, yeah,
You know?
but judging by the comments from our viewers, they would like to change a few things, and we'd like to be hearing more from you this morning if you can. Lena Richards, been with her husband 10 years. The last few years, he's changed. I'd like to change him back to how he was.
Lucy Cameron, I would like to change my husband into Peter Andre or Shane from Westlife. Not much to ask.
Whereas Tracy Hume would change her husband for Adrian Chiles. Why, Tracy, is the question that springs to mind. Keep your messages coming in. You can text us 67890. That costs you 25p plus a standard network charge. You have to be over 18 to send those in.
You can email us, of course, at daybreak@itv.com or go to our Facebook page, and you can also keep in touch with us via Twitter. That address is @Daybreak. Get your comments in, though, before 8 this morning.
What would you change about your man? We'll talk more about that, and your man himself, actually, a little bit later on. For now, Tina, thanks very much indeed. Guys, we'll see you later. Thanks. Still to come here on Daybreak. Addicted to fizzy drinks, why teens who consume just 5 cans a week are more prone to bad behaviour. Hillary's got his take on that as well. That's coming up shortly.
Well, let's find out now what's happening where you are this morning.
Morning, here are the Daybreak headlines in the Granada region. 10 cockle pickers have been rescued off the coast of Lancashire. Search and rescue teams were called to Lytham at around 9 o'clock last night after receiving a distress call. The workers from 3 boats who were out last night have now all been accounted for. Hundreds of people have been evacuated from their homes on Merseyside after a fire at a garage in Prescott. People living within a 100-metre radius of the blaze are waiting to get back into their homes. The cause of the fire is still unknown. Police in Lancashire have held a public meeting after the body of a baby boy was found in a field near Kirkham. They're trying to trace the baby's mother. Hundreds of people have been spoken to as part of the investigation. Manchester City striker Mario Balotelli is backing a safety campaign after his bathroom was set alight by fireworks. The campaign has been launched in Manchester ahead of bonfire night. The player says he was angry with a friend for lighting the fireworks and that people should always follow the firework code. Travel news now, and that fire in Prescott is still affecting Kemble Street this morning. It's closed in both directions. That's also affecting traffic on Kelly Street. Time for the weather now. Here's the forecast with our Fred.
After a grey start, expect a bright and rosy end to the day. Blistex Lip Brilliance, your daily lip care, sponsors your local weather.
Good morning. It's been a wet night if you heard the rain falling down, but things are going to improve. What's going to happen is this band of rain is going to gradually move out of the way. It's tracking in a northeasterly direction, so it should brighten up nicely. By lunchtime, I think we'll all see some sunshine. Might just be an odd shower, but look at those temperatures. Rather mild, don't you think? Oh, yes.
Well, that's the latest from us in the Granada newsroom. I'll be back in around about an hour's time. First, though, it's back to Dan and Lucy in the Daybreak studio.
Yeah, there's a doctor in the house. New research carried out by scientists in the United States suggests teenagers' behaviour is affected by fizzy drinks.
The results have been published in the British Medical Journal and reveal that as few as 5 cans of fizzy drink a week can have a serious impact. Here's Hilary with the details.
We all know the increased health risks of allowing kids to drink too many cans of fizzy pop: tooth decay, obesity, weak bones and type 2 diabetes. Now, new research suggests teens who drink too many fizzy drinks are also significantly more likely to show aggressive behaviour.
My nieces or nephews and stuff like that, you give them Coca-Cola or fizzy drinks, they're bouncing off the wall.
92% of 14-year-olds regularly drink carbonated drinks, with over 40% consuming 3 or more glasses a day.
It just gets me through the day. Like if I have a lot of work, then maybe I have a couple of fizzy drinks and just keeps me going.
And the school environment is being blamed. Around 95% of secondary schools have vending machines stocked with fizzy drinks, with some cans containing 3 times more caffeine than a cup of coffee.
Well, Hilary's here now. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Hilary's here now with nutritionist Amanda Hamilton. How bad are these drinks as far as you're concerned, Amanda?
Pretty bad, yeah. I mean, it's not what you do every now and then that really matters, it's what you do habitually. So if you're having fizzy drinks all day, every day, it's replacing the good stuff that you should be having. I mean, this, for example, 7 teaspoons of sugar in 1 can. Typical can of 330
That is just
mils.
in your
just
normal
in one
can, not one of those bigger ones that we've got there.
Just not that bag.
No. Oh, yeah.
Enjoy. It would
just
actually
sickening.
stop you drinking it, wouldn't it? If you knew that's what was in it most of the time.
Is that one of the full fat options, not the
That's
diets?
the full fat, and this research is based around the full sugar, but diet doesn't really get off scot-free either. There's lots of
what kind of
stuff.
effect does consuming that amount of sugar have on your body?
Well, it's body and it's brain and it's mood. It's pretty much everything. It's partly the nutritional picture, if you like. If you're having lots of that fizzy drinks, then you're not having the good stuff, as I said. So it's robbing your body of all the good nutrients. The story before with Camilla was about osteoporosis. The phosphorus, the phosphoric acid, is actually taking the calcium out the bones, leaching the calcium out the bones over a period of time. It's not every now and then. If this is your habit. So it's endangering your skeleton. But to be honest, teenagers don't care about the skeleton, quite frankly, do they? They're going to want to care about their skin or their body shape. And it's really trying to drive home that message that this is not a good idea to do 5 times a week, 5 times a day, whatever it might be.
But Hilary, you think it's part of a bigger picture, don't you? Not just cut out the...
I think the study's interesting. I mean, bad behaviour is not caused by fizzy drinks, I don't think. I think bad behaviour is caused by lack of self-control. Does this contribute? Possibly. I think the study is mixed in its conclusions. But certainly, in theory, your body should be able to cope with fluctuations in blood sugar, with insulin levels which rise and fall as well. But I think what the study doesn't really prove is that if kids are drinking more than 5 cans of this stuff a week, are they also being allowed to be indisciplined elsewhere? The research did say that they're more likely to drink alcohol and smoke. So is this part of a pattern of lack of parental control and they're allowed to do whatever they want? I mean, these kids were carrying weapons, knives and things, more likely to carry those things if they're drinking more drinks. So to me, the interpretation of the study is that there's just lack of self-discipline across the board. Yeah, too much sugar is nutritionally useless. These drinks are useless in terms of nutrition.
Yeah.
Kids should be drinking more water.
As a parent, though, I mean, you've got how many kids between you? I've got 4 at home.
5, yeah.
If you give them a lot of fizzy drinks, you do, not that I do, sorry, not that I do, you do notice a change in behaviour. I do. You can see it. This is the sugar surge, the quick fix, what they're lacking, and it's very much a sort of mother's tale, isn't it?
Is it just kind of a mad half hour? Is that the kind of effect it has?
You don't want it to be a half hour. You know, you want it to feed their body properly. Occasional treats fine, but if they're having this all the time, and of course the teeth as well, it's a huge.
And I think about 5% of children are affected by these very high levels of sugar, but 5% of the population is a huge number of children. So if it has any influence and it contributes to bad behaviour that's already there, then we have to look at this seriously.
So just cut them out?
Yeah, absolutely. Or keep them as treats.
Yeah, every now and
occasional
then.
treats. But every day, 2 litres a day, no, it's got to be wrong.
Thank you both for chatting to us this morning.
Just realised I've got my breakfast
you
platter on
healthy
show
individual.
here. Amanda,
We'll
look.
just cover those.
So you've got
off now,
five a day, plus a couple of treats, for being a good boy.
Is that a balanced diet?
It depends if he's a good boy or not. I don't know.
No fizzy drinks at all. Just lots of fat lattes.
We like fat lattes, yeah.
Thanks, Amanda. Thanks so much indeed. Still to come here on Daybreak. Shameless actress Tina Malone. We saw her early this morning already. She's here and talking about the season finale and the secrets behind her dramatic weight loss as well. Chatting to Tina shortly.
Do you dream in chocolate? Taste the Lindor truffle, created with passion only by Lind's master chocolatiers. Like nothing you've ever experienced. When Lindor's irresistible center starts to melt, so will you. Smooth, flowing, luscious. Chocolate like no other. The Lindor truffle. From the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
Meet our Philly hero, Nicola Bryans. Nicola, what's your recipe?
It's Philly meatball pasta.
At the corner of my eye, I see this beautiful sausage there. It's had the skin taken off it.
Yeah.
I suppose that's what we make the meatballs with.
Any sausages, but you don't want them too brown, just nice golden nuggets. And then add onions and the garlic.
So what now?
We add the filling, about half a tub.
Lovely. Ooh. Bit of stock.
Mustard goes in, and then parsley. And
So that's it,
off.
meatballs go in, strain off the pasta, the moment of truth. Mmm.
Good, isn't it?
That's lovely.
It's all over your
Very hot.
face.
Very nice.
And life is what you put in that counts. Crammed full of the very best ingredients, no one makes soup like Baxter's. Baxter's, because taste matters.
Get the family together around a KFC family feast. 6 pieces of original recipe chicken, fries and sides. The KFC family feast.
Change the way you colour your hair with Precision Foam Colour from John Frieda. 4 out of 5 women say it's a quick and easy way to get salon quality results at home. Our precise professional coverage gives you exceptional colour that's rich and natural looking. Precision Foam Colour. Also from John Frieda, Brilliant Brunette brings out multi-dimensional tones. Sheer Blonde enhances shine. Radiant Red helps prevent colour fading. The #1 colour care range in the UK, only from John Frieda.
Welcome. The Ultimate Collection by Daniel O'Donnell. A 40-track 2-CD collection. Includes 10 new songs. Daniel O'Donnell, The Ultimate Collection is out now.
There's no need to feel blue. I said, hey now. Car insurance is due. You could save yourself a fortune. Compare insurance at Confuse.com. We're saving money at Confuse.com. We'll compare you a price. You could get a good deal. You could choose any brand on Confuse.com.
Oh, explain the Wonga.com sliders.
Sliders! That's how we roll here. You tell us how much you want, how long you want it for, and we tell you how much it's going to cost.
We think it's important to give people control. Oh, see, it's now Earl's turn on the music player.
Earl, turn it off.
Wonga.com. Straight talking money.
The Queen's Royal Tour of Australia. In the course of nearly 60 years on the throne, she's developed a very personal relationship with the country, and Daybreak is there live to follow this special royal event. The Queen in Australia, every morning this week on Daybreak, ITV1.
Why does it always rain on me? Is it because I lied when I was 17? Why does it always rain?
That's a very localised cloud that was raining there. It was kind of... She found that puddle in the middle of just pristine grass, dry as a bone. No, it's been raining all over the place. If you're asking, why does it always rain on me? You could live in the west of the country where half a month's rain fell in just one day. Kirsty there spent the night in the west of the country with her wellies this morning. How are things?
They're good, thank you, Dan. Morning, Lucy. I spent the night in a yurt last night, believe it or not, down here in Devon this morning. I had a nice little glass dome up there. I could hear the rain thundering on the roof. It was a bit of a wet one, but of course glamping, as it's known, glamorous camping, means it wasn't too bad. Nice comfy bed. However, it was something of a washout yesterday. In fact, have a look at the flooding in Pembrokeshire, for example. Really heavy downpours there. Also Torquay, the council had to close some of the roads there in the seafront because the waves crashing over the seawall. And across Northern Ireland as well, some really heavy downpours in Belfast as well, and other areas too of Northern Ireland. It's been extremely wet because the weather front that came in through Sunday, Monday just wouldn't move away. But the good news is that it's slightly better here today, although eastern parts will see some rain. But I've got some happy campers out this morning. Morning, guys. Morning. And we're going to enjoy ourselves, whatever the weather will bring. Good old British spirit here. Back to you two.
That's right, too. Thanks so much indeed, Kirsty. Check in with you and those hardy campers, those British holiday makers.
They're doing well, doing us proud in this weather.
In whatever weather, bless them. Let's get the latest weather from Lucy here in the studio.
Daybreak weather. Sponsored by Nestlé Cereals. Proudly waving the banner for whole grain.
Well, it's not only been incredibly wet across the southwest, but also through Northern Ireland. These areas have seen nearly a month's worth of rain in less than a day, and there's more wet weather to come this time for the north and the east today before the rain eases to scattered showers. So a slow improvement after such a windy, wet start to the half-term week. This morning, that rain that affected the southwest yesterday worked its way northwards and eastwards overnight to stall in these areas this morning, soaking wet through the northeast of England, across to the borders and central Scotland. Here, dreadful conditions for the journey into work, not only windy and wet, feeling thoroughly unpleasant, the gusts topping around 40 miles an hour or more. Behind the system, drier conditions with a mixture of clearer breaks and cloud, with some showery outbreaks just wafting their way through these Irish Sea coastal counties. And these areas will be prone to a few showery outbreaks, some longer pulses of rain through the course of the morning, but the focus really through these eastern coastal counties from Yorkshire up into central and eastern Scotland. Here, the rain persistent and heavy through much of the morning with strong gusty winds to boot. Showery outbreaks of rain through the western side of Scotland, parts of Northern Ireland. Otherwise, drier conditions, a little better than yesterday, a little calmer. The wind's easing, but a few rogue showers to contend with. The rain and the wet weather through the northeast for much of the day. Elsewhere, drier conditions with brighter breaks, but watch out for these showers into the south and the east later. They'll turn out to be heavy, potentially thundery, but the southerly airstream will actually keep it remarkably mild for the time of year, 15 or 16 degrees the high. Find out what's in store for the next 5 days on our website, itv.com/daybreak.
Thanks, Lucy. In the next half an hour on Daybreak, actress Tina Malone is here to talk about the season finale of Shameless, her staggering weight loss, and what it's like marrying a younger man.
We're at the home of mother and daughter Cliff Richard collectaholics. Wait to find out what we've got by way of a present for them, because it looks like they have everything.
And our very own daredevil Gavin has had enough of Daybreak. He's at the Circus of Horrors, auditioning for a new job as a knife thrower's assistant. Rather him than me.
Just before I saw Gavin on the left there, I thought for a moment that was him throwing knives. Thank goodness it isn't.
He's got some skills,
Yeah,
but not knife throwing just yet.
Maybe he'll be better at having knives thrown at him. Let's hope so. Let's get the latest news now from Cordelia.
Thanks, Dan. Good morning. David Cameron defeated an attempt to bring about a referendum on Europe last night, despite a rebellion by 79 Conservative MPs. Coalition and Labour MPs were instructed to oppose a motion for a vote on the UK's membership of the EU. In all, 483 fell in line to help secure a majority of 372, but 111 MPs defied the government.
I think the British people have a right to make their own mind up on this. I think for decades and decades, ever since I can remember, governments have told the people what we're going to be doing with Europe, but the people have never had a real say over the future of our country within the European Union, and it's high time they did.
Ousted Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi will be buried today in an undisclosed grave in the desert. The National Transitional Council say they want to defuse the row over his corpse, which has been on show in a cold store. An inquiry has been launched into his death now. There were unconfirmed sightings last night of Gaddafi's son, Saif al-Islam, close to the country's borders with Niger and Algeria. Thousands of people have spent the night in sub-zero temperatures in eastern Turkey as rescue teams continue their search for survivors of Sunday's earthquake. The death toll stands at almost 300, with 1,300 people injured. In the last half hour, BP has reported profits of £3.2 billion in the 3 months to September. That's compared with £1.3 billion for the same period last year. In other news now, consuming more than 5 cans of fizzy drinks a week makes teenagers more aggressive and more likely to be violent. That's according to a new American study. Scientists surveyed 1,800 young people. More than 40% of them who drank 14 or more cans a week admitted they'd carried a knife or a gun in the past year. Spending on education has fallen to its lowest level since the 1950s, around 13% in real terms. That's according to research by the Institute of Fiscal Studies. School buildings and higher education have been worst hit in England, with some schools seeing their budgets almost halved. The Governor of the Bank of England will face questions from Parliament later this morning on his decision to inject more money into the economy. Sir Mervyn King will be grilled by the Treasury Committee after it was announced £75 billion will be invested to try and stimulate the economy. Lawyers defending the doctor accused of killing Michael Jackson have claimed in court he knew the dangers of the anaesthetic he was taking but continued to demand it from Dr. Conrad Murray. He's accused of the involuntary manslaughter of the singer. The prosecution says he broke legal and ethical guidelines. Sport now, and the French rugby team has been fined £10,000 by the International Rugby Board for advancing on the haka before the World Cup final on Sunday. IRB rules state that an opposition side must keep a certain distance away from the New Zealand team while they perform the ritual. France lost in the final, 8-7. Martin O'Neill is favourite this morning to make a return to Leicester, his former club, following Sven-Göran Eriksson's departure. Last night, the club confirmed the former England manager had left his position by mutual consent. Eriksson took charge of the Championship club in October last year. This season, they were one of the favourites to gain promotion, but just 5 wins so far has left them struggling in 13th place in the league. Now, the number of stay-at-home dads has risen tenfold over the last 10 years. New research shows the job of sharing childcare is now becoming more equal between men and women. But not every dad is enjoying the shift, with 20% saying it makes them feel less of a man. Finally, hundreds of people, including dozens of schoolchildren, braved the rain in the Australian capital, Canberra, to meet the Queen and Prince Philip on the latest leg of their tour of the country. They laid a wreath at the National War Memorial to pay tribute to Australia's war dead, including soldiers killed in Afghanistan. That's the news. It's 7:35. Back to Lucy and Anne.
Thank you very much, Cordelia. Well, we've got Kate standing in for Lorraine this morning. Good morning, Kate.
Hello, good morning. Join me later with Emmerdale's Maura Barton. She's the latest in a long line of women to fall under the spell of bad boy Kane Dingle. But will she take it too far? Actress Natalie J. Robb joins me to chat about that. Also on the show, he's gone from being a waiter to starring alongside some of the biggest names in Hollywood. Tintin star Nick Frost tells us what it's really like working with Steven Spielberg. And as well as that, we'll meet the two little girls from Essex who've made the A-listers take notice.
Oh, you got my heart better running away, beating like a drum and it's blow me away.
We'll be talking to Sophia and Rosie about their newfound fame. See you with all of that at 8:30.
Looking forward to that. When I first saw that clip, I thought they were definitely American.
They're amazing. That was an incredible voice for such a little girl.
Now then, she's best known for playing the brash, foul-mouthed Mimi Maguire in Shameless. We'll be chatting to Tina Malone in just a minute. First, let's have a look at a clip from tonight's episode where Tina announces some news to the pub.
Is someone going to tell us what's going on?
I wanted a more fitting occasion for the announcement, but I suppose the more time to get your head round it is no bad thing. Billy Tutton is doing me the honour of making me his wife.
Who's Billy Tutton?
No congratulations.
Match made in Jeremy Kyle ratings heaven.
Here's Tina Malone, everyone. Another classic line.
I'm surprised you found a clip where I'm not actually swearing. Yeah.
You're not like that in real life, are you?
No, I'm so far removed from Mimi. And you know, I suppose it's a testament to your ability as an actor that people actually think you are quite frightening and you know, quite as big and bold as... I'm opinionated, but I'm not as loud.
You can tell you're feisty, Tina.
But she's been a big part of your life, obviously, for what is it, 7
years.
Yeah.
We're actually still filming every day at the moment, the new series, Series 9, which goes out in January. But yeah, and you know what? It's been incredible to play such a strong, powerful woman. Because as my life, 23 years as an actress, every part I've ever wanted to play have been kind of, you know, from Macbeth to, you know, stuff you see Ray Winston do or Gary Oldman or Robert De Niro, you know, and I kind of relish the idea of playing somebody. So she's a matriarch, she's loyal, but she's quite vile and quite violent. And it's been great to have those experiences and, you know, to do all that stuff's been incredible. Great company, great cast to work for.
I mean, it's been going for, what, 8 series now? What do you think is the secret to Shameless' success?
We're a comedy drama. We are essentially a drama. It's Jacobean. I mean, you know, you can't go wrong with a Paul Abbott. You know, if you look at everything from state to play to clocking off, he's a genius. The guy is a genius. And I think it works because we have a great crew. I know everybody says that, but our makeup, wardrobe, crew are phenomenal. They work incredible hours. And we work hard. We all genuinely care. And the scripts are amazing, amazing.
You were saying off air, actually, that Mimi gets sort of written more, perhaps, by the writers than other characters. It must be a real thrill for you to have the confidence in you and the character by the writers.
Yeah, it's still incredibly, after 7, 8 years, to be... I'm still privileged and flattered that the writers still continue to... You know, you pick up scripts and go, where did they find this stuff from? But, you know, for them to still be writing such kind of witty, intelligent stories and subplots, it's just brilliant.
Now, Tina, you were telling us before that you don't often watch back episodes, but more recently, because you've lost such a huge amount of weight, you actually like
I do. I like seeing the bones.
Like?
Well, the episode tonight, which is the end of this series, I see the bones here, and I love that. I've lost 7 stone 9 pounds with the gastric band. I hold my hands up and admit, but I feel very different. Obviously, you know, with my life with my husband and you know, everything health-wise, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, in every way, and that's been the hospital group. I've looked after me for 2 years, from my teeth to my body. I've still got 20 pounds to go, and then a lot of operations.
You mentioned husband there. You're marrying a younger man in the show tonight.
Yes.
This is life imitating art.
Well, he's 16, but my real husband, Paul, is 29. And we were together 13 days and moved in, and we've had one night apart, and that was the night before we got married. And we've been married 16 months, and he's just incredibly loving and cares and encourages me to physically and mentally get better in every way, you know.
You'd recommend a younger man then?
Oh gosh, more stamina.
It doesn't sound like there's very much you change about him anyway, that's for sure.
Lovely to meet you. Thanks so much indeed.
Yeah, can I just say I'm doing Panto?
Oh, gosh,
I'm playing the Wicked Queen in Panto in Liverpool, Jane Joseph's production of Snow White.
You're used to vile roles anyway.
Yeah, the Wicked Queen.
Good luck with that. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Still to come here on the show, Reese Ifans joins us after 8 o'clock. First, they're probably Cliff Richard's biggest fans. We'll be meeting mother and daughter, Cliff Collectaholics, as we continue our series on Collectaholics after the break.
Recently, I learned that water makes up 80% of cat food like this. That's a lot of water. Don't get me wrong, I like water. I just prefer to drink mine. On the other hand, I'm poor. IAMS contains only 8% water and gram for gram more high-quality nutrition to help me stay as fit as a fiddle. And now it's lunch. I'm more than just a cat. I am an IAMS cat.
Half price on selected toys right now at Smith's Toy Superstores. The Moxie Girls remote control vehicle, half price at $29.99.
In position, Soldier Force, incoming. Fire when ready. Target in sight.
Soldier Force Destroyer Tank, now half price at $19.99. Plus, right now, you can save up to 25% on Nerf, Barbie, Transformers, and much more. Right now at Smith's Toy Superstores.
Big bowl of Weetabix you got there, son? Big day.
Massive. I've got 1 paper round, 2 exams, followed by nervously chatting up girls that are way out of my league.
That's nothing. I've got to sprint to my train, spend the day doing team-building exercises whilst laughing at my boss's unfunny jokes.
That's nothing.
Packed with slow-release energy to keep you going. Weetabix. Fuel for big days.
So we can offer you 12 months car insurance for the price of 10.
Well, people deserve to hear about this offer. I know, I'll honk for every month. No, really. Oh, I've lost count. I'll start again.
It really is quite straightforward. 12 months car insurance for the price of 10. Direct Line.
Change the way you colour your hair with Precision Foam Colour from John Frieda. 4 out of 5 women say it's a quick and easy way to get salon quality results at home. Our precise professional coverage gives you exceptional colour that's rich and natural looking. Precision Foam Colour. Also from John Frieda, Brilliant Brunette brings out multi-dimensional tones. Sheer Blonde enhances shine. Radiant Red helps prevent colour fading. The #1 colour care range in the UK, only from John Frieda.
Where else will you find this complete bedroom set for just $9.95? Delivered free in time for Christmas. Furniture Village, of course.
At John West, we want you to know the story behind every can. That's why you can now type in this code into this website and find out exactly where your wild tuna came from. This one was caught by the John West boat Drago. It was on the same trip that crewman Fernando One-Shop finally had enough of Dimitri's comb-over. John West, discover the story behind every can.
In a van with a man. Walking a collie under a brolly. Reading the news in brand new shoes. Watching telly with a welly. Clocking in with a twin. In a box full of socks. In a 10 on an ascent or just at a table by yourself. Introducing the delicious Take It Anywhere all-in-one breakfast wrap from McDonald's. Bacon, cheese, eggs, sausage and potato rusty all together in a handy wrap. A whole new breakfast experience.
Hi there. It's just gone 7:45. The headlines this morning here on Daybreak. The Prime Minister has survived attempts to push through a referendum on UK membership of the EU, but he suffered the worst rebellion over Europe in Conservative history.
Consuming more than 5 cans of fizzy drinks a week makes teenagers more aggressive and more likely to be violent. That's according to a new study out this morning. Now, pop princess Britney Spears collects antique dolls. Tom Hanks, well, he apparently has a thing for typewriters.
Really?
Yeah, apparently so.
Well, Nick Dixon is continuing his tour of the UK's biggest collectaholics this morning. Yesterday, he met the wonderful Carol Vaughan in Birmingham. She collected lots of things, including soap and plastic bags. She had 35,000 plastic bags in one room. Today, Nick is in Horsham with 2 fans that have a little obsession with a famous singer, don't they, Nick?
They certainly do. Good morning. As soon as you step through the door, you will see that this is a place of worship. A place of worship for Cliff Richard. Fans since 1958. In 1960, they tried to post themselves in a box to the London Palladium to try and meet Cliff, and since then, they've amassed an amazing memorabilia collection worth £50,000 in every room of the house.
Hi, I'm Colette, and I'm crazy about Cliff Richard. This is my Cliff cupboard. It's pretty full. Cliff takes pride of place on my bed, my bedside cabinet, and my dressing table. Mum's the same as me, ardent Cliff fan. I wouldn't say that I was addicted, or Colette, to Cliff. We just enjoy everything about him, that's all. To me, he's the ultimate. Yeah, there's not many things I haven't got, and if I haven't got it, then I want it. Hey! Woo! Hey!
Much excitement in the house this morning because, well, not just because they have a Cliff Richard road sign in their collection, but because it's Cliff in concert tonight in London. And of course, you'll be counting the minutes, the seconds even today.
We certainly are. We're raring to go to get in their seats.
Good stuff. You've got some amazing things in your collection, even Cliff's clothes, ripped off his back, I'd imagine. And this is the highlight of the collection here. Where's this from?
That is 1968. He wore that for the picking the winning song for the Eurovision.
Now, it looks like it could do with a wash. Are you going to take it to the cleaners?
No.
Why not?
Oh, well, he's worn it.
Looks like he had lasagna for lunch, to be honest with you. Now, listen, you must be one of Cliff's oldest fans, Ray.
I am.
Why is he so special to you?
Well, the thing is that when Cliff Collett joined him, and I found if I couldn't beat him, join him.
All right, well, look, we've got a little surprise for you. Cliff has seen your collection, he's had a look at it, and he's got this to say about it.
Hi Colette, hi Ray. I've just been looking through this whole stuff that your house must be jammed full of everything that I've ever done. And look at that, where'd you get that? When did you take up burglary? Anyway, Colette, Ray, you and so many other fans have been so amazingly loyal over the years. I can't thank you enough for all the support you've given me. And I know you haven't got any more room, certainly not on that wall, but nevertheless, maybe you could find space for this. Lots of love, thanks again.
What do you think of that then?
Lovely.
There's the Cliff calendar, personally signed. And something else, something money could not buy. When Cliff was on Daybreak that morning, he liked a nice cup of tea. That's Cliff's cup with Cliff authentic mould. It's been there a good 6 weeks now. Money cannot buy that, as I said, and that is yours to keep.
Oh,
breakfast time.
Lovely, thank you.
Enjoy the concert tonight, girls.
We certainly will, and tomorrow night.
Back to you.
Nick.
Good old Cliff. He always rewards the loyalty, doesn't he?
Oh, amazing couple. It's not authentic Cliff mould, it's just mould on a cup that Cliff used. Just to clear that up. You can take part in our collectors survey. Just log on to itv.com/daybreak. More collectors tomorrow.
Well, here's Anna Williamson now with details on how you could win £20,000 and a week's holiday to Rio.
Welcome to Rio de Janeiro. Now, how would you like to win the ultimate family experience? There's £20,000 £3,000 in cash. That'll certainly keep you all very happy. Plus a copy on Blu-ray, triple play and DVD of this week's release of Rio. And you'll also get to experience Rio for yourselves and enjoy all the sights the city has to offer, like this, a trip to the top of Sugarloaf Mountain. The holiday is for up to 4 of you, and you'll be staying at the luxurious Copacabana Palace Hotel. So for your chance to win the cash, movie and the holiday, here's the question. Sombrero and Panama are both types of what? A. Hat. B. Coat. C. Shoe. Call 090 49 59 6000. Calls cost no more than £1 and 3p from BT landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher and from mobiles considerably more. Text your answer A, B or C to 64499. Text costs £1 plus 1 standard network rate message. Or enter for free at itv.com. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at midday on Friday the 28th of October, and entries made after this time won't be counted but may still be charged. And good luck.
All the best. Still to come on Daybreak, the knives are out for Gavin. He's in the firing line this morning as he auditions for an unusual job.
Oh dear.
Do you dream in chocolate? Taste the Lindor truffle, created with passion only by Lind's master chocolatiers. Like nothing you've ever experienced. When Lindor's irresistible center starts to melt, so will you. Smooth, flowing, luscious. Chocolate like no other. The Lindor truffle. From the Lindt master chocolatier. Timing. You've either got it or you haven't. Thankfully, Next have. Order by 9 at night and Next Online will deliver the very next day. Perfect timing from next.co.uk. Order by 9 at night for next day delivery.
What can you do with curly frizzy hair? Make it go away. New Frizzy's 3-Day Straight. Our first styling spray made with keratin. It works with your hair straighteners to help create a straight style that can last not 1, not 2, but 3 days. 3-Day Straight, only from John Frieda.
Activia Intensely Creamy, now in new smooth caramel. You've just got to try this.
This Saturday and Sunday at Drayton Manor, a spectacular fireworks display. Selected rides open all day till 9 p.m. Drayton Manor, home of total family entertainment.
Whenever you need short-term cash for life's little emergencies, come to The Money Shop or visit moneyshop.tv. That was so simple. The Money Shop.
Any one of 8 6-inch subs and a drink for just £3.
All day, every day.
How is this possible?
The Subway £3 lunch deal. Genius!
Back it up and do it again. From the middle to the top, do it again. La, 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 la.
This is Caro Emerald.
Ooh, that man is like a flame. And ooh, that man plays me like a game. My only sin is I can win. Ooh, I wanna love that man. I have never dreamed it. Have you ever dreamed a night like this?
Caro Emerald. Deleted scenes from the cutting room floor. The album, out now.
Join all your favorite Zuzu pets in their first movie.
Welcome to Zoo!
As they begin an extraordinary adventure across the Zooniverse and discover a world of magic and excitement. Zuzu Pets Quest for Zoo.
Time to go extreme!
Own it on DVD now.
It's Johnny English. If you want adventure,
It's all coming back to me.
get ready
Anyone seen the voice-changing travel lozenges?
for Johnny English Reborn.
It's
It's a new beginning. Vaseline Essential Moisture is now better than ever. With pure natural extract and Stratus 3 technology, moisture is infused deep down, absorbing quickly, so it feels good on skin while doing good for skin. New Vaseline feels good, does good.
On Friday, she's the red-haired beauty who shot to fame in The Only Way is Essex. And now for Amy Childs, The Only Way is Up.
The only way is up.
Amy talks to Daybreak about her mission to go from a reality star to a household name. Amy Childs, Friday on Daybreak.
Great! It's 5 to 8. Inspiring young minds. Sponsored by Guinness World Records.
If you're desperate for work, you still probably wouldn't think about this one.
No. How about a knife thrower's assistant? Well, our very own thrill seeker Gavin looks like he's quite interested in taking up the mantle. Gavin, what are you doing?
Morning, guys. Yes, welcome to a job that is literally on the cutting edge of show business. I'm here at the Pleasure Beach, Blackpool, for the Circus of Horrors, where I'm auditioning to be a knife thrower's assistant. In a few moments' time, it's going to be me on that board over there. Dr. Hayes has been putting me through my some tips and some advice this morning. What's any last-minute things you can tell me?
Keep your eyes open. Look straight at the camera. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Just keep nice and still. If you're at all nervous, feel like fainting or anything.
Feel my heartbeat.
Yeah, that should be all right. If you're at all nervous, just say stop.
Okay.
We'll stop. Don't
right.
worry.
Okay, I've got to say, these guys are pros. They've been doing it for years. Do not try this at home. Psycho Sean is going to do the honours. Let's go. Okay.
Appropriately named.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay. Where do I stand?
If you just lean back on the board. Yeah.
Okay, right, like this, yeah?
Yep. Keep your arms right in tight
In
if
like
you can,
that.
okay?
Like that. Okay, cool.
Okay. Put your legs together, please.
Legs together, cool.
Okay. Can you go
Oh,
on your
let's see if we do this in better. Cool, let's go.
Okay. Go on your left. Things
No.
Okay.
In fact, think. Oh, that's 1, 2. How close are these? Oh my word. How many more left? Not long left, hopefully. Oh, my heart is about to come out of my stomach. Oh! How close was that?
Oh, God!
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness, Dr. Hayes, thank you very much. I'm alive!
You survived!
I'm alive! Oh, so what can people who are auditioning for this expect then? What have you got in store for them?
Well, basically, when they come to audition, it'll be a bit similar to what you've done.
Oh, my
But
word.
when they see it for real life, those knives will be going at 30 mile an hour.
Oh.
A minute one's left to the next will be going, and the knives will be on fire. And they'll have to do it twice a day in the Circus of Horrors on
luck.
tour around the UK.
Thank you very much. OK, guys, back to you. Dan and Lucy, I'm getting your application.
Well done, mate. Well done, Gav. He's our hero. I thought they were going to be on fire, though. A little bit disappointing. And let's get the weather from Lucy.
Daybreak weather. Sponsored by Nestle Cereals. Proudly waving the banner for whole grain.
Well, after such a wet start to the new week, things do get just a little better today. The rain will be easing to be replaced by calmer conditions and a scattering of showers. A good deal of rain plagued much of the southwest yesterday and parts of Northern Ireland. These zones saw nearly half a month's worth of rain in a very short space of time, and that rain has now worked its way northwards and eastwards and is sitting through the far northeast of England, much of central and southern Scotland, here through the borders into central zones. Here, extremely windy and wet first thing for the commute into work. Dreadful conditions, the winds already topping 30 to 40 miles an hour in exposure. For the rest of us, a calmer start to the day, a drier start as well, with the showery outbreaks just hovering around western coastal counties first thing. But really the focus through these eastern zones initially up to central Scotland, here staying soaking wet through much of the morning, blustery and miserable conditions. To the west of the high ground of Scotland down to Northern Ireland, showery pulses of rain here, and then for the rest of us drier with a chance of some brighter breaks developing as the morning goes on, but also a few rogue showers. Through the northeast of Scotland into the borders, staying windy and wet for much of the day. For the west of Scotland, for much of Northern Ireland, it will be drying up, and then for England and Wales, a mixture of cloud and brighter breaks. But showers will be working their way into the south and the west, and some of these will turn out to be heavy and potentially thundery for the journey home from work. Despite all of this, with the southerly airstream staying mild for the time of year, temperatures up on what you'd expect for October, but watch out for those showers later. Find out what's in store for the next 5 days on our website, itv.com/daybreak.
morning, it's 8 o'clock.
Welcome along to Daybreak on Tuesday the 25th of October. Coming up on this morning's show, actor Rhys Ifans chats to us about his latest role, the Earl of Oxford, in new film Anonymous.
And Steve's here with tonight's TV Matters.
Absolutely, joined by a partner in crime. We've been watching programmes with Young in the title. The Young Apprentice and Young Nuns is the one to watch for this evening. So we're bringing you lots of youth-orientated programmes with us two youthful people.
Some TV tips there. And after 8:30, Kate will be joined by Emmerdale actress Natalie Robb, who plays Moira Barton, and the Tintin star Nick Frost.
First though, here on Daybreak, let's get the latest news from Cordelia.
Thanks, Dan. Good morning. The Prime Minister has survived attempts to push through a referendum on UK membership of the EU, but he suffered the worst rebellion over Europe in Conservative history. 79 Tory MPs defied him by voting in favour of a referendum. Sue Jameson's at Downing Street for us this morning. Sue, safe to say this was the biggest test of Cameron's premiership so far?
That's probably true. Downing Street is bathed in a rosy glow this morning, supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but we can't say the same for the Prime Minister, who I think feels decidedly not very rosy. He did have a big political kick in the shins from many of the rebels. They were more MPs rebelling than he was expecting. And this was after he went out of his way personally to speak to MPs to persuade them to change their minds, and that didn't happen.
I'm loyal. I think Cameron's doing an amazing job. But if I've been wandering around my constituency for 7 years saying that we should have a referendum on the EU, it's very difficult for me then, when I have the chance to vote on it, not to vote in favour.
But it was easier for those MPs, of course, who hadn't been elected on a Eurosceptic platform.
I was elected on a clear manifesto that said we are in Europe, we want to stay in Europe, but we want to make sure that we're not run by Europe. And in the manifesto that I stood on, like all Conservative MPs, it did not say that we should have a referendum.
And now, of course, the Prime Minister is going to Brussels for this critical vote, a critical meeting on the euro on Wednesday.
Thanks very much, Sue. Now, consuming more than 5 cans of fizzy drinks a week makes teenagers aggressive and violent and more likely to carry weapons. That's according to a new study by scientists in America. Here's Carla Eberhardt.
We all know the effect that fizzy drinks can have on our energy levels.
My nieces or nephews and stuff like that, you give them Coca-Cola or fizzy drinks, they're bouncing off the wall.
If I have a lot of work, then maybe I have a couple of fizzy drinks and just keeps me going.
But according to a study released today, they could also make teenagers violent. The findings are based on a survey of nearly 2,000 teenagers from 22 schools in America. It showed that drinking more than 5 cans of fizzy drinks a week was linked with behaviour including carrying weapons and violent assaults. And teenagers who drank fizzy drinks regularly were up to 15% more likely to engage in aggressive behaviour.
We need to know what is it about soft drinks that's increasing aggressive behaviour in these teenagers. But we also need to say, you know, the same messages we've been delivering time and time again is that a well-balanced diet is key and everything in moderation.
Experts believe the sugar or caffeine content in carbonated non-diet drinks could be to blame, although they admit there may be social and economic factors.
Thousands of people have spent the night in sub-zero temperatures in eastern Turkey as rescue teams continue their search for survivors of Sunday's earthquake. The death toll stands at almost 300. ITV News correspondent John Ray sent this report from Van in eastern Turkey.
There are now around 2,500 rescue workers at the scene. They have worked through another bitterly cold night here. In places there's a lack of electricity, even a lack of water, but that frankly is the least of the difficulties. The real problem is what you can see behind me, the mountains of masonry and crushed concrete under which there may or may not still be people trapped alive. Now, we've been watching them working here this morning. They are sometimes painstakingly slowly sifting through the rubble. They'll call a halt, call for silence and try to listen out to see if there are any signs or sounds of life beneath them. Although elsewhere there have been some miraculous stories of survival. Here, I'm sad to say, in the last few minutes they have recovered just a body from the rubble. So the death toll is rising and will continue to rise, I'm afraid, throughout the day.
Ousted Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi will be buried today in an undisclosed grave in the desert. Libya's new government says it'll investigate his death. There were unconfirmed sightings last night of Gaddafi's son, Saif al-Islam, close to the country's borders with Niger and Algeria. Finally, hundreds of people braved the rain in the Australian capital, Canberra, to meet the Queen and Prince Philip on the latest leg of their tour of the country. ITV News royal correspondent Tim Hewitt sent this report.
This is Australia's National War Memorial, the Queen's last stop before moving on from Canberra. She came here today to pay her respects to the more than 100,000 Australian military personnel who have lost their lives in battle since the First World War. 8 more names are going to be added to the Scroll of Honour here on Remembrance Day next month. 8 soldiers who've lost their lives in the last year in Afghanistan, where 29 Australian soldiers in all have been killed, and 2 of those serving there have been awarded the Victoria Cross. Well, the Queen is now on her way, first to Melbourne and then to Perth, where she will take part in the Commonwealth Heads of Government Conference. On the agenda there, of course, rules of succession to the British throne.
That's the news. It's 6 minutes past 8. Back to Dan and Lucy.
Thank you, Cordelia. Our special guest this morning is one of the country's favourite actors and a man of many faces. Here's just a few of them.
Together they make the Deathly Hallows. Together.
Are you asking me to be a spy?
You can't go on like this, Joe. Just give in to it. You can't live your life in denial. I found this and I thought, cool.
Reese Evans, everyone. You've done a lot of different stuff, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you look back at that with pride? Just how varied it's been already in the career?
I was just shocked by how kind of young I looked and fresh and awake as opposed to this morning.
You look fine. I was going to say beautiful then for some reason.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Oh, beautiful, there it is.
When you see those, though, you see the different characters. I mean, do actors have a favourite character that they've played in the past? Do you have a favourite bit that you've done?
Well, you know, I kind of like the kooky, comedic ones. You know, your favourite character is the one you're doing at the moment, you know.
And for you, latest project is Anonymous, which is about Shakespeare's plays, or who was Shakespeare. The story has it that it wasn't actually Shakespeare himself, and you play the man that the movie purports to be the one responsible for writing all those plays. It's quite a posh role for you. Again, it's very different. It's another face for you.
I give good posh. Yeah. Classically trained.
What was it? I mean, did that draw you to the role in some
Yeah, it
respect?
did. Yeah, because I guess I'm to a wider audience. I'm known for you know skullduggery and what have you. So yeah, when I met Roland Emmerich, the director, you know, it's a kind of hugely populated film in character terms, and William Shakespeare in our film is a kind of drunken, clumsy actor.
Yeah, we had Rafe on the show last.
Oh right,
last
well,
week.
he's
Nothing like that in real life.
He's amazing in it.
Yeah.
You know, he's just amazing. But I wanted to kind of stretch myself a bit and play a posh boy. You know.
Well, should we take a look at
let's have
a
look
clip?
at
This
my
is
posh.
a clip of Reese being posh in Anonymous.
A play, my lord. One you shall stage, Bankside. Stage? Under your name. My name, my lord? Well, I can't very well use my name, can I? I'm the 17th Earl of Oxford, the Lord Great Chamberlain of England, Viscount Bolbec, Lord of Escales, Sandford and Badlesmere, etc., etc., etc. No. I have a reputation to protect.
Now, we had the pleasure of seeing it yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we did.
I
we absolutely loved it. Both of us said this morning we absolutely loved it. How would you best explain it to the viewer then? Because I mean, it is about Shakespeare, but it's not about Shakespeare.
Well, okay, right. If you're, you know, there's probably a lot of kids today and young people who are about to go to school. Many of them to have English lessons, and many of those English lessons will entail, you know, some Shakespeare. There is no one will ever know, or no one knows to date who exactly penned this beautiful body of work. You know, there are many theories that William of Stratford-upon-Avon wrote them, Francis Bacon, Christopher Marlowe, the Queen herself, and a coven of writers. You know, who cares? the fact is that this amazing body of work was written, and you know we revisit these plays again and again and again. You know, as we speak, there are actors learning lines for a plethora of plays.
Do you quite like the idea that there's a bit of a conspiracy?
Of course I do. Well, I think it's important, you know, to create a bit of a stir, to put a spanner in the complete works.
Lovely.
Tell you what, you might not like early mornings, but you're short for early.
You come up with that.
Yes, I did.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a poet myself. I do, because we don't know. It's important to ask the question. We owe it to whoever he, she, or they were. We owe it to them to ask the question, you know. And I think this film does this.
Yeah.
Okay, there's this dusty old book in a library in Oxford or Cambridge that hasn't really been addressed. Everyone's assumed for years that it was this guy from Stratford, who it may be, but the body of evidence supporting that is very slim, to say the least. So what this film does is it picks it off the shelf, opens the book and goes, and it enables us to, you know, revisit these plays, you know, and I think what this film does, when you look at the scenes of the Globe, which is literally over there,
yeah, it's just
isn't
down,
it?
it's just down the south bank.
At the time, you know, the theatre was a really dangerous place. You know, that's why these theatres were burnt to the ground over and over again.
As well.
Yeah, and those scenes are so, they feel so live, you know. And if this film inspires, you know, young people or anyone to like revisit Shakespeare or revisit the theatre, then it's done its job. And yeah,
sorry, I mean,
you know, I just hope the film does for live theatre what Rocky did for boxing.
But it's got everything in it. It's got sort of sex, lies, betrayal, intrigue, a really twist as well, which I enjoyed watching. It's a really good watch, even if you're not into that side.
Yeah,
of the
you don't have to be an academic or a SWAT.
No, you absolutely don't.
I'm certainly not an academic or a SWAT, but I love a good story, and this is a brilliant political thriller, you know, set in England, set in London, and you'll when you watch this film, you'll see London as it was 400 years ago. A dangerous place.
We can't let you go very quickly without mentioning the next role, I believe, in Spider-Man, Lizard.
Quite different.
Yeah.
You don't have that. You're a lizard, are you?
No, yeah, but I'm.
What's your special thing?
My special effect is being 9 foot tall. I'm reptilian and
you got a long tongue.
Well hung.
Good. Is that a new thing for a superhero?
Yeah, that's my superpower, yeah.
Great,
so watch out.
What a fabulous superpower.
Yeah, one wonders how you kill people with that. The mind boggles. Thanks very much for coming in. Anonymous is out...
I think very soon.
Very
Friday,
soon.
Go and see it.
Friday.
If you're bored at school, if Shakespeare sounds humdrum and boring, and if you don't like your English teacher...
Definitely
go
and
to the
see
cinema
this.
and, you know, become a professor of the iambic pentameter.
Good advice, sound advice on half-term week. Thanks very much indeed. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In a moment, Steve will be back with TV Matters. First, here's your chance to win £20,000 and a week holiday to Rio. Anna Williamson has details.
It's time to get the party started, and this is certainly the place to do it. The Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro.
This is your chance to win the ultimate family package.
We've got a prize to get the whole brood dancing. There's £20,000 in cash. Go ladies!
Plus a copy on Blu-ray, triple play and DVD of this week's release of Rio.
And to keep your loved ones happy, there's a holiday for 4 of you to Rio, where you'll be staying here at the Copacabana Palace Hotel, overlooking that world-famous beach. So, for your chance to win the £20,000, the holiday to Rio and the movie, here's the question.
Sombrero and Panama are both types of what? A. Hat. B. Coat. C. Shoe. Call 090 49 59 6000. Calls cost no more than £1 and 3p from BT landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher and from mobiles considerably more. Text your answer A, B or C to 64499. Text costs £1 plus one standard network rate message. Or enter for free at itv.com. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at midday on Friday the 28th of October, and entries made after this time won't be counted but may still be charged. And good luck.
Good morning, here are the Daybreak headlines in the Granada region. 10 cockle pickers have been rescued off the coast of Lancashire. Search and rescue teams were called to Lytham at around 9 o'clock last night after receiving a distress call. The workers from 3 boats have now all been accounted for. Hundreds of people have been evacuated from their homes on Merseyside after a fire at a garage in Prescott. People living within 100 metres of the blaze are still waiting to get back into their homes. The cause of the fire is still unknown. Police in Lancashire have held a public meeting after the body of a baby boy was found in a field near Kirkham. They're trying to trace the baby's mother. Hundreds of people have been spoken to as part of the investigation. Manchester City striker Mario Balotelli is backing a safety campaign after his bathroom was set alight by fireworks. The campaign's been launched in Manchester ahead of bonfire night. The player says he was angry with a friend for lighting the fireworks and that people should always follow the firework code. Travel news, and that fire in Prescott is still affecting Kemble Street this morning. It's closed in both directions. That's also having a knock-on effect on traffic on Kelly Street. Time for the weather now. Here's Fred with the latest.
After a grey start, expect a bright and rosy end to the day. Blistex Lip Brilliance, your daily lip care, sponsors your local weather.
Good morning. It's been a wet night, if you heard the rain falling down, but things are going to improve. What's going to happen is this band of rain is going to gradually move out of the way. It's tracking in a northeasterly direction, so it should brighten up nicely. By lunchtime, I think we'll all see some sunshine. Might just be an odd shower, but look at those temperatures. Rather mild, don't you think? Oh, yes.
Well, that's everything from the Granada newsroom so far this morning. We're back with our lunchtime bulletin just before 2 o'clock. Now, though, it's back to Dan and Lucy in the Daybreak studio.
And that noise, of course, means Steve's here.
Noise?
TV matters. Apologies. Tune, theme tune, music.
It's a jingle.
It's not a jingle.
It's a classic
That noise.
tune. That's what it is.
Anyway, welcome, Steve.
Hiya. I've got my own young apprentice, because we're talking about the young apprentice. I have my own young apprentice here by my side. Tina, you're a fan of The Apprentice, aren't you?
Yeah, I watched the last series with the young ones, and you know, I think they need to mix it up a bit more. Personally, I understand what he says about wanting to get them while they're young, but I think they need a bit more of a mix of kind of children. I think there's few too many precocious ones for me.
It is tricky, isn't it? I mean, because they're sort of 16, I think, 16, 17-year-olds. It has to be said, the way they dress them up in these suits, it reminds me of Bugsy Malone a bit. It, just sort of, it has that feel of kids.
A 70s Bugsy Malone.
Like adults. If you didn't see it last night, I mean, this was the first episode. It was a big success last year, incidentally. So this is last night. Here's a couple of clips we're going to show you. The first one is showing the girls having a bit of trouble with their maths.
3 4s are 28. No, 3 4s are 12.
The dreadful surprise today is that the team here can't add up, subtract, divide or multiply. They cannot get their heads around how much it costs to make a litre of ice cream.
3 4s, 28.
Yeah, oh, bless her.
Oh, that's basic.
At the moment, camera's staring at you.
But there you go.
We know what it's like.
Yeah,
We all
exactly.
make mistakes, don't we, Dan? There was also, Mohammed was the guy... Oh, I shouldn't say... Did you watch it? If not, put your fingers in your ears. Mohammed went. He was hilarious, though. He was great. He had the best suit by far, a big gold watch as well. He's a brilliant character. But he's maybe got a little bit stuck when it came to selling. He was a bit unsure really about how well he did. Alan obviously told him how well he did in the boardroom.
I personally think that I was the best salesperson in this whole team.
That is completely unfounded.
I was pushing for sales. I was making people come.
How much did you think you sold?
I think I've sold about at least £120 or more.
You sold £62 of the stuff.
Which, you know, still isn't bad.
Was it
It was
atrocious?
ice cream they were selling. I mean, £62 worth of ice cream is pretty good. On Facebook, quickly, John Avery, it looks great. Hope the kid do learn some lessons from it, how to add up. Nicola Louise Torch, looks like some of them got their suits from Johnny Robinson on X Factor. Some of the suits were shiny. Jodie Russell, the girls' team did well. Well, yeah, just about. And Jamie Dodger says, why dress them like they're in their 30s? Carries on next week. It's good stuff. We'll move on to Young Nuns. This is the one to watch for tonight.
As well as the last episode of Shameless on
Yes,
Channel
of course.
4.
Well said, well said. I don't think C was going to forget that.
That's the one
pretty
to watch.
good. That's pretty good. Yeah, watch that and just record Young Nuns. This is a clip from tonight. This is Clara. Clara's come out of uni and she's going to go to be a nun straight out of uni. So here's Clara getting into the habit.
She just looks really like a nun, like a young nun. So it makes me realise it's coming very close. Yeah. But she looks very happy, so I suppose that's a good thing. I'm quite excited, really, because it means that she's getting on with the journey. She's embarking on this new phase.
Yeah, doing what I really want to do.
But also it's a fear of not seeing her so much, so mixture of feelings, really.
Oh, don't cry, Mommy.
Anyway, we'll get on with that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Amazing change of life. No phone calls home, only 2 visits from your family every year. That does actually sound like my circumstances. Mum, I will call you soon, I promise. Tonight, 3 more. Shipwrecked is on tonight. They're shipwrecked the island. They're back in the South Pacific, 8 p.m. E4. Jamie's Great Britain. Jamie goes around Britain looking at local dishes. That's on Channel 4 and 71 degrees north. It's the semi-final tonight, so who will make the final? We shall find out.
He did leave Shameless off that list. I'm sorry.
I know, and it's the end of our Series 8 before we go back into Series 9 in January. Yeah. And it's the first time we've done 22 episodes, and it's my wedding.
Oh, even more reason.
Can't miss it.
Slap me in a minute.
Never miss it.
We're going to take a short break, after which Lucy will have the weather for you today.
If you want this 32-inch Panasonic TV with built-in Freeview HD to go with your popcorn for only £4.49 per week, then you'll want somewhere with the lowest weekly payments on the biggest brands. Where you can get a luxury sofa to chill out on, or the very latest laptop, with no deposit and free delivery. If you want the perfect home, then come to Perfect Home. Pay for the biggest brands bit by bit.
Isn't it disappointing when you stop noticing your plug-in? Enjoy amazing freshness for up to 90 days with new and improved AmbiPure 3volution. Its 3 alternating scents give you freshness you keep on noticing for longer than you would expect. Up to 90 days. That's 1 whole season of freshness. Notice the freshness for up to 90 days with new 3volution from AmbiPure.
Last Thursday, an independent price checker confirmed that Asda had this many branded products cheaper than Argos, including all these great electronics brands. And you can order online and we'll deliver free to your local store. So, why would you pay more? Asda, saving you money every day.
Good morning, world, it's a brand new day. I'm packing my bags and I'm getting away.
Horrible chesty cough? Give it something you can feel working. Corvornia cough medicines with clout. And to loosen stubborn mucus, there's Corvonia Herbal Mucus Cough Syrup. Corvornia cough medicines with clout.
Babies can be a bit of a mystery. At Dentinox, we're here to help clear some things up, like Cradle Cap. Dentinox Cradle Cap treatment shampoo is specially formulated to remove dry, flaky skin and leave baby's hair and scalp healthy. Trust Dentinox. Babies are our speciality.
Change the way you colour your hair with Precision Foam Colour from John Frieda. 4 out of 5 women say it's a quick and easy way to get salon quality results at home. Our precise professional coverage gives you exceptional colour that's rich and natural looking. Precision Foam Colour. Also from John Frieda, Brilliant Brunette brings out multi-dimensional tones. Sheer Blonde enhances shine. Radiant Red helps prevent colour fading. The #1 colour care range in the UK, only from John Frieda.
We all know that bills come round every month, except with E.ON's Energy Fit plan, where if you sign up for 2 years, we'll give you 2 months' worth of energy for free.
That's 1 month, payment free each year. You'll also get a free energy monitor to help you save even more money. Call 0800 508 8055 to find out more about our Energy Fit plan. E.ON, helping you get energy fit. We're on it.
Daybreak has carried out its biggest ever parenting census. Thousands of you have taken part, and all next week we'll be tackling the issues that matter most to the modern parent, from pregnancy to preschool. Find out what it's really like bringing up baby, all next week on Daybreak.
Hello there. Well, earlier, Gavin had a go at auditioning for the job as knife thrower's assistant.
He did really well.
Oh dear. You can't hear it, but it's that clunk when the knife was hitting either side of Gavin's body.
I thought
Look
you were
at
going
that
to say
face!
you can't hear it, but he was breaking wind all the way through this. He was that nervous. Look at his little eyes. Oh!
Gavin!
Well done, Gav. Gav joins us live now. I don't know if you had a chance to see that back, mate, but your face was a picture.
Thanks very much, Dan, but fortunately I was in good hands with Sean here and Dr. Hayes. They gave me all the tips, all the advice I needed to know. And the successful candidate, it's being advertised right now, is going to need a strong heart for this job. They start on Thursday. Good luck to them. Dad, it's not me.
Yeah, well done, though, mate. Brave Gavin there. I hope it's not the little child that they're trying out for the same job. That'd just be wrong. Don't try that at home, anybody, as Gavin said. Those were professionals throwing those knives.
Yep, so let's get the weather now from Lucy.
Daybreak weather, sponsored by Nestlé Cereals, proudly waving the banner for whole grain.
Well, after such a windy and in places wet start to the half-term week, a slight change today, a slight improvement. The rain that's affected much of the southwest and Northern Ireland in the last 24 hours has now worked its way northwards and eastwards and is now sitting through the far northeast of England through to central Scotland, this extending its way down to coastal areas of Norfolk and Suffolk. It's through the northeast we'll see the heaviest rain, the steadiest rain today, and here's strong gusty winds. The rest of us a little calmer, a little drier with just a few showers to contend with around the south and the west. But really the main focus through the northeast, the opposite end of the country to yesterday. Here windy and very wet all day. Awful conditions if you're having to travel. For the rest of Scotland, the far north of England and Northern Ireland, it will be a drier and slightly calmer day. Through England and Wales here too, mostly fine with breaks in the cloud and some sunshine, but watch out for these showers into the south and the west. Some of these could be sharp and thundery through the southeast later. Despite all of this, the southerly airstream will keep things mild for the time of year. Highs of around maybe 15 or 16 degrees. Not bad at all for October. For a 5-day outlook for your postcode, visit our website, itv.com/daybreak.
Thanks, Lucy. Our survey has revealed the top 20 things women would change about their men. We've been asking you this morning what you would change about your man. Number one, for instance, dress sense.
I understand that one. Joanne Evans, I would change my fella, preferably one for a younger one with a bigger bank balance and a nice sports car.
Louise Angel would change the way her man eats a yoghurt. Stephanie Modrell change snoring. He sounds like a hippo. Jackie from West Lothian would make her man keep his front false teeth in.
Easy for you to say then, with yours in.
Okay, that was wasn't it? Tina Malone, one of our guests, you've just thought of another thing, haven't you?
Yes, they always leave socks and towels on the floor, men. It's kind of obligatory, particularly once you're married. Yeah. So I would, stop that.
Well, your man is listening in the green room, making notes, I think. We asked Cordelia, she had too many to list, apparently.
And, of course, you're on the telly tonight. Last
episode,
Shameless.
My Big Wedding.
Good. We'll look forward to it. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Here's Kate Honoré.
Thanks very much indeed. Good morning. Join me after break with Emmerdale's Maura Barton. Actress Natalie J. Robb reveals why she's bored of being the good girl. And find out why the stars are all talking about these two little girls from Essex. See you in a couple of minutes.
I will always be too young to be grey.
Excellence Creme from L'Oreal. Our only colour that helps to triple protect before, during and after.
I take risks, but not with my hair.
Rich colour, no greys. Excellence by L'Oreal Paris.
Because we're worth it. We're worth it. We're worth it.
At the heart of a tasty lamb casserole is a classic combination of herbs. New Knorr Herb Infusion Pot has the perfect blend of thyme, parsley and bay leaf. It's the taste of the great outdoors. Indoors. Knorr Herb Infusion Pot, the perfect combination of herbs.
Another fantastic payday price crunch at Morrison's. All these bottles of spirits are now only £10 each. The payday price crunch at Morrison's.
Introducing Microtouch Max from JML, the amazing all-in-one personal trimmer. Microtouch Max is ideal for nose hair, sideburns, neckline, even unsightly ear hair. The rubber non-slip handle allows perfect control, while the built-in LED light helps provide close and precise grooming. And this handy snap-on guide lets you control just how much hair is removed. Stay groomed to the max. Only $14.99 at all good JML stockists and jmldirect.com.
With E.ON's Energy Fit plan, when you sign up for 2 years, we'll give you 2 months' worth of energy for free. You'll also get a free energy monitor, so you can track how much you use, week by week. Because the more energy you save, the more money you'll save too. Visit our website to find out more about our Energy Fit plan. E.ON, helping you get energy fit. We're on it.
Break through your pain with Lloyd's Pharmacy's new service. Come in store. We'll take the time and use our expertise to find a solution that's right for you.
With Sky, great things now come together as standard. Enjoy award-winning series, comedies and more with our most popular Sky TV entertainment channels. Watch them whenever you want with the flexibility of Sky Plus to record, pause and rewind live TV. Even enjoy TV from Sky on your laptop with new and exclusive Sky Go. Plus, stay in touch with superfast broadband and calls. All together, as standard, for £20 a month. Go to sky.com/value or call 08442 41 0000. Sky, believe in better.
This is My Songs, featuring today's biggest artists, including the amazing James Morrison, Lana Del Rey, and the incredible Coldplay. 40 feel-good favourites. My Songs. Out now.
Another colourful morning with John Frieda Precision Foam Colour, sponsors of Lorraine.
On today's show, we've got Emmerdale's Moira Barton. This week, we see another side to Moira as she gets closer to Kane, but will she get burned like all the others? Actress Natalie J. Robb is here to tell us. Also on the programme, Nick Frost, who's starring in Spielberg's new movie, Tintin. He tells us about his unlikely path to fame. And we'll find out why George Clooney is once again the toast of LA. Plus...
You got my heart better running away, beating like a drum.
These two little girls from Essex are taking Hollywood by storm after Justin Bieber tweeted about them. They've since had an incredible 16 million hits on YouTube. Sophia and Rosie share their incredible story. Morning, girls. Hi there. First, we're going to talk about the stories making the news this morning. With me are broadcaster Katie Nicholl and journalist Kevin Maguire. Good to see both of you this morning.
Nice to be with you.
Yes, nice to have you here. David Cameron not having a great morning. He won, but not good.
No, lots of pictures of him on the front pages looking
actually relieved. And the headline on The Guardian, Prime Minister rocked by record rebellion as Europe splits Tories again. There was a vote last night in the Commons on whether or not to have a referendum on Europe. It's all because of the e-petition pushed for this vote to happen. Not the best time for it to happen at the moment.
No, not
at all, with everything else going on. Anyway, he did win by 483 votes, but the point is there was a massive rebellion of Tory backbenchers who actually do want a referendum on Europe, which is going to pose big problems for the Prime Minister. But I think at the moment everyone agrees that with the economy and everything else, there are bigger fish to fry. But interesting set of pictures, because you can see him going through several different emotions, but ultimately relief.
Relief, and he won. And he was one of those that was very keen about this idea of an e-petition and people having access to put forward their views and ask them to do things, and he's sort of been bitten by it, hasn't he?
He has, because he didn't want this debate now, he certainly doesn't want the referendum now, but if enough people sign a petition, you have to do it. And never in all my time, you know, 20-odd years watching the House of Commons, never has a victory by 372 votes or whatever it is felt so hollow, because he knows the 79 Tory MPs who rebelled, it wasn't just on Europe, it's also about him and his style of management, and they feel he doesn't listen to them. It's also about the coalition, they don't like the Liberal Democrats. So there's a huge problem here for him over the next 3.5, 4 years.
It's the biggest revolt in his leadership, really, isn't it?
Biggest in his, and, you know, go back to John Major and Maastricht 1993, only 41 Tories rebelled then.
And so that was seen as a huge
challenge
to him.
Puts it into perspective, really, doesn't it?
It does. And looking at Turkey, I suppose it puts the whole of life in perspective, doesn't it, when you see those terrible pictures coming out of Turkey. Nearly 300 people dead, but still thanks to the extraordinary efforts of the rescuers there. Some incredible stories of youngsters. This is a young lad being rescued. I don't know if you can see there. A rescue with a baby pulled from the rubble alive. Thank goodness.
But you know, the young lad there, I think he's 13, known as Yunus, the hand on his left shoulder is of somebody who's dead. He's trapped under the rubble in a house with somebody who's dead who may have been trying to shield him. And you just think... this happened on Sunday in eastern Turkey, in Van, this village. It's high, it's cold at night, people are trapped, they're ringing on their mobile phones, they'll be getting dehydrated, and, as we see there, you know, there are dead bodies around them, and you just, you know, every minute must feel like an hour. And
his expression says it all, doesn't it? A mixture of relief and the terror of what he's been through. Happier news now, and the Queen, it's pretty... You're laughing. People braving the rain with the Queen, British. She didn't seem to mind it, did she? To meet the Queen and Prince Philip.
She's used to it, isn't she? A little bit of rain isn't going to put Her Majesty off, but here she is greeting the crowds in Canberra. She is, of course, on day 7, I think now, of her tour of Australia. It's her 6th tour, and she's doing incredibly well. I mean, thousands of people turned up to see her in the Duke of Edinburgh. And let's not forget that she is 85 years old, the Duke is 90, and, you know, she's going off to Perth. She was in Brisbane. She had to face someone mooning at her with an Australian flag between his buttocks.
I thought Prince Harry was in America on helicopter training.
On this occasion, it wasn't Prince Harry. But I think you just got to look at the amazing work that they're doing, and I think good for her, and good for the Duke of Edinburgh as well. And this is, of course, just before her Diamond Jubilee, and there's a lot of talk of, is this going to be the last tour to Australia? The Palace is saying she's got more energy than all of us put together, and one wonders whether it might not be, actually.
And briefly, what did you think? Because I know you were very involved in covering the royal wedding when she wore the same dress for the wedding as out on tour as well. What did you think about that?
Typical of the Queen, to be frugal and to be in touch. And yellow was a great choice of colour.
Thank you, yes. All the best people wear yellow. The austerity Queen. No, exactly. Really worrying pictures. I don't know if you've caught them at home yet in the papers of Robin Gibb looking very poorly. We were all talking about in the office. I mean, he's always been lean, but he does look very, very worryingly thin there, doesn't he?
61. He's said to have this stomach complaint. The fear is it'll be the same stomach complaint that killed his brother Maurice in 2003. And it does look awful. He had to pull out of a meeting with David Cameron in Downing Street to promote the Poppy Appeal and a charity record by the Soldiers who are doing one of his hits. But it just looks awful. And he's collapsed a couple of times. We read, been rushed to hospital. And you think,
maybe
oh,
having to have an operation or something to
they've removed
things.
parts of his colon, we're told, but you look at that and you just remember him when he was singing and how he was so full of life, and it just looks awful.
It does, doesn't it? You just hope that they can find a way of solving the problem for him. Terrible. Well, the X Factor's never out of the papers, is it? And today is no exception. Rumours that Kelly has left the show.
That's right.
Flounced away from the country.
Yeah. Of course, she was actually meant to be on tour there anyway. So we were saying it was a bit of a drummed-up publicity opportunity. But of course, there's been a lot of rivalry with Talisa. Put two gorgeous, you know, competitors together, and the sparks are going to fly. But of course,
but it is,
good for ratings.
Will she be back at the weekend? It is, and I suspect she will. There's always that element of doubt, and you know, it's not doing as well as it was. It must be said. They are missing Simon Cowell.
Do you think they are? Do you think he's a missing X Factor? I can be so cheap.
No, I think he was, but you know, she's gone off and she was on tour, as you say. But
so will she? Because I think one of the rumours is that they don't know if she's going to be back for Saturday. But is that all just part of the drama?
I would have thought so.
I would imagine her contract will stipulate that she absolutely has to be back for the show.
I know you've got to work Saturday nights if you're on X Factor. I think you just have to see that.
Bite the bullet and do it. Now, I know you're a man of chivalry, Kevin. I don't know what your husband's like, Katie, but Lady Mary of Downton Abbey, Michelle Dockery, the actress, of course, who plays Lady Mary, has said that she thinks we women need a bit of chivalry in our lives. That's what we should all have. It's not old-fashioned. We should have chivalry. What do you think?
I think good manners, but not chivalry. Now, I keep a door open for whoever, a man or a woman, but she wants people, if she approaches a dinner table, to jump up and greet her.
Oh, I love that, though, when boys do that kind of slightly sweet sort of, hello, hello, you know, I think that's nice.
Hang on, you can't have equality and equal pay and rights, and then expect everybody to jump up and, you know,
doff their cap
at you when you approach a dinner table.
Well,
come on.
I do think she's got a bit of a point, though, that good old-fashioned manners are pretty much non-existent today. I mean, I cannot remember the last time, actually, someone held the door open for me or let me go. And, you know, I always make an effort. If someone does it, I always say thank you, because I just think someone's made the effort to do it. Whether you, like you say, it doesn't matter whether you're a woman or a man. It's just common courtesy.
When I do hold a door open and somebody goes through and doesn't say thank you, I always shout thank you to try and put on the spot.
That's new chivalry. That's new manner. Well, we want to know what you think about everything we talk about, particularly want to talk about chivalry. Do you like it when men hold the door open for you, or pull your chair out, or get up when you come to the dining table? Even if you're at the dining table, that would be a start, wouldn't it? Not on your lap and under the sofa. Or do you think it's a bit demeaning? Do you think we're all past that, we women, now at this stage of game? Have you got stories of men who need to brush up on their manners generally? We want to hear them if you have. If you're 18 or over, you can text us on 67890. Text costs 25 pence plus your standard network charge. And you can also contact us at facebook.com/Lorraine ITV, and try to get your comment in if you can before 9 this morning so we can read it out. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
No problem. Good manners. Competition time now. This is your chance to win £20,000 and a week's holiday to Rio de Janeiro. Here's Anna Williamson.
It's time to get the party started, and this is certainly the place to do it. The Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro.
This is your chance to win the ultimate family package.
We've got a prize to get the whole brood dancing. There's £20,000 in cash. Go ladies!
Plus a copy on Blu-ray, triple play and DVD of this week's release of Rio.
And to keep your loved ones happy, there's a holiday for 4 of you to Rio, where you'll be staying here at the Copacabana Palace Hotel, overlooking that world-famous beach. So, for your chance to win the £20,000 of the holiday to Rio and the movie, here's the question.
Sombrero and Panama are both types of what? A. Hat. B. Coat. C. Shoe. Call 090 49 59 6000. Calls cost no more than £1.03 from BT landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher, and from mobiles considerably more. Text your answer A, B or C to 64499. Text costs £1 plus one standard network rate message. Or enter for free at itv.com. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at midday on Friday the 28th of October, and entries made after this time won't be counted but may still be charged. And good luck.
Good luck with that. Now, you're going to love this. My next guest may only be 8 and 5, but they are already stars in Hollywood after Justin Bieber.